My hand is hurting. I didn't do it. I feel banged up and I didn't do anything. My hand is swollen. I look like a wet dog. No, but I'm so happy. This was a gritty win. I mean, shorthanded and really shorthanded. Of course, you don't talk about this coming in the game. Is Mary was a game time decision. Probably shouldn't have played. Back, you could see in game, she's like, her face is like in pain. Jada banged up. You know, it just not everybody 100%, but finding ways to step up. Our posts were guarding our guards, so they have 4 guards. They run a really good offense. They're good offensively and hard to guard. We had our 5s guarding guards, so they're receiving flare screens, on balls. It's hard for a post. Like, it was challenging for ISIS. And just found a way to get the job done. Like, everybody's chipped away, and I thought we came out really good. These last 2 games, we came out playing some of our best basketball in the first, like, 5-7 minutes. And then we kind of, the second quarter happens. Now it's not the third quarter, it's the second quarter, if you noticed. But just found ways to get stops and show up big and make plays. So I'm just proud of us right now. I'm proud of our team right now.
Especially with the energy she's expelling on the defensive end.
I know.
For ISIS to go 10 of 11 from the field, what do you say about her performance?
She was awesome, and they weren't like easy. They weren't wide open, easy shots. Some were like with contact or making a move. And you know, they do a really good job defensively because they always have a mismatch. Okay, because they'll switch a lot, and they're always playing 4 guards. So defensively, it's going to be hard. So they double and stuff like that. So they do a good job of not letting the post have contact. So they kind of, sometimes it leads to a layup, but other times it's like hard because the posts are trying to get contact and they're moving. So we turned the ball over a few times doing that. But, I just thought that she showed up. I thought Brea was really big in the first half, in the first quarter especially. They were kind of carrying us. And then just everybody found a way and did the things they're supposed to do. And just they all fed the hot hand too. So unselfish basketball again. Good team basketball. Someone's hot, they fed them. ISIS is killing it, so they're trying to get her the ball. Like, those are the things that we need to do, and those are things we did. So I'm proud. I'm proud of our team right now. I really, really am.
You did. At the end, you were really frustrated because you had fouls to give. So when you called that timeout with fouls to give, how'd you impress upon them? Did you bring that up?
No, I didn't bring up that just because I don't want them to think about that. I brought up this is an opportunity. This is the situation. I repeated myself like 8 times. But this is a situation. This is how many fouls we have to give. So from a teaching perspective, you don't want to give it like a 0.1 second. So from a teaching, like Sky did it really fast. That doesn't really help. So, but she doesn't know. The fact she did it without them shooting is the main objective. But wait a couple of seconds, like dribble. Maybe instead of like doing what's 9.3 and then 9.1. You know, it's better to like wait than maybe at like 6 or 7, you give a couple seconds because it just eats the clock. But we still did it, and these are learning things. Because in the past, we would have done it like on a curl cut to the basket. But that was scary because that shot, I thought it was a little late, but you never know. I was sitting there a little nervous. Like, I was like, I don't think it's going to count. We're going in overtime, but like, I don't know. I don't know like the technical part of the game. It's like, oh, it's actually left the finger. Like, you know, I don't know that stuff. So, but another big shift in the game too. The game felt like it was like 4 hours. But another big thing was the intentional foul. And Lisa Jones, she did not want to call that. I think it's one. And as Mary honestly didn't think she did that, but hit her in the head. That was a big swing too, because that was a. I think that didn't they hit a 3 after that?
After
so the
they
free
got
throw,
the 2, yeah.
But that to get the 2, to tie it, and get the ball back, that like puts a lot of pressure, and that was a kind of shift in the game. Because then for a while, I don't know which overtime, but we had these lulls where we couldn't really score. So then we were playing offense, defense, and it's kind of tough. It's tough for a player, but we found a way to get the job done. I'm proud of I'm proud of everybody. I think everybody contributed and did something.
Break out of that slump because in the third quarter, I mean, 9+ minutes with just 4 points.
Yeah, I just think that, but the third quarter defensively hasn't been that bad. Let me look. Yeah, I guess they shot 50%, but I felt like our energy wasn't bad. I think we gave up. We had, the backdoors, Skylar Young. She got beat like probably 4 or 5 times on backdoors, which she usually doesn't. So I think just like those are teaching moments. She kind of struggles sometimes with some switching actions, but not as much as this game. And I think some of those actions were hard to guard because we have a post. So we're not switching with the post. So I think as a freshman, she doesn't understand, like, okay, if it's post setting, because we go off of what our positions are. So I think that had her hesitant on some stuff. But those are learning things. I obviously don't want to give a back door, like, straight off the bat, so that was kind of irritating. But we still found ways. Even making those mistakes, we had solid stops when we needed them, and then scored, like, enough when we needed to.
Last game versus this game, you guys out-rebounded Washington this time, so
Yeah.
where they got you last time.
They killed us last
Yeah,
time. That's
so-
the emphasis and key to the game.
And I was just going to ask you, how did you talk to the team about that?
Talked a lot about that, but you know who helped us on the boards a lot? Isis. Because she went in and she secured some tough boards because Helena still wasn't boxing all the time. But yeah, like those were killers. I mean, giving up free throw rebounds, and they pounded us last time. So that was the emphasis in the game. Also the ball pressure. Because so they don't see the back doors so much. I felt like in the second quarter we weren't doing that. And then, a couple times Helena wasn't up, but like at this point she had played like 46 minutes, so I was like, go ahead and go back. But I thought like Brea and Isis, so they were guarding a good perimeter play. Like their threes are good. And like Schwartz, and they're just good perimeter players. So they did a really good job of staying solid in those. That's a mismatch. And we didn't get exploited on that. We got exploited on some back doors and stuff, but not like killed on that action, which was good. So that was a big thing. Isis would not have been able to do that when she first came here, and neither would Brea, because Brea's always guarded the 5, and Daniels isn't even at 5 when she's at the 5. So those are challenging matchups for us. So I thought they did a really good job. So I see like they've improved. And as Mary was hurting, she was 1 for 8, but she still had some really key moments. 7 rebounds, still found a way to help the team. On the bench, she was incredible. So she's still helping us win and out. Like she shouldn't have really played today. She could have. Most players, if you're not as Mary, they would not have played today. They would have said, I can't. Like she played. And I was like, are you sure? She's like, yeah. And like Jada too. Most players would have said they can't go. So those are 2 really tough kids that regardless of what their numbers are, they help us win games. And Jada had 5 assists, 2 steals. She was solid and has not had her last 2 great scoring games. But she's a connector. She's in the huddle. Like she brings value, a lot of value.
As with 38 minutes banged
Yeah.
up, Jada with 48 minutes banged up, Elena plays all 55. I mean, for your players to put as much energy and just ignore how you feel, go and play the game, to come out of that with a win, how big is that for this team?
It's really big. So didn't want to put a lot of pressure, obviously, but this was a must-win game for us. Just for I talked about that, but as a young team, I'm not gonna. We talked about it, but didn't talk a lot about it. Just talked about kind of we control our own destiny and how important it is to win at home, like more than like this game. So I tried to kind of alleviate some pressure. But very important for standings, for playoff, for momentum. We're going on the road. Teams are not winning a lot. Now more the last 3 weeks, but overall teams aren't winning a lot in the Pac-12 on the road. So, and then we have, Stanford and Cal on the road is really hard. So just being able to control what we can control, go out and try to, get a sweep or a split, and then come back home the last weekend with some momentum and confidence. So I really feel like this win and this sweep really helps, spearhead the future, I think, for us. And I feel like we're playing better basketball now. So I feel like we're going like this. For a while, I think we were kind of digressing a little bit, just banged up. But I feel like now, regardless of the numbers, because different people are stepping up, we're peaking at the right time, which is important because we're going to play some good teams on the road.
And how much did the fans help you? I noticed
lot.
almost the entire 3 overtimes, they were up and cheering.
Yeah, it helped us a lot. I don't think we win the game without a crowd and our fans. They've always been our 6th man. We have the best fans in the country. I love these fans. Even when there's 7,000, it feels like there's 14. They show up and they show out all the time, and they don't leave early, even when we're losing. And it's not like that any other place. I've been at gyms, and they don't have a crowd like this, and then they leave early. Like when it's a close game or it's a blowout, it could be a blowout. We're up or down, they don't leave, and they're into it. And I don't think we get the energy and the fight without that. And you can see Jada was trying to pump up the crowd. I was, and I usually don't, but we were in it. I was sitting on the sideline. I'm not even playing. I was like, I don't know why I'm tired, but it was just an emotional game with so many different stressful moments, and they're a good team, and they had some big plays that it was like, ooh, you know. So it was a battle, and they just played a 3 overtime. They played 3 overtimes against 2 overtimes against ASU. So these are things that help both of our teams down the stretch.
Just 2 minutes for Kaylyn.
Yeah.
Everything all right with her?
Yeah, I think it's hard. Like Kaylyn's a rhythm player, so I think it was a tough break for her today. Like we need Kaylyn. We need her to come in, score, and it's hard because I'm trying to insert her back in from being out. But she came in, got hit right away pretty hard, and then just gave up some defensive plays. And at that time, we had a rhythm, so it was hard to keep her in the game. And then at times I wanted to go back with her, but then she's cold. It's hard to go back. And our guards were playing well. Sky was playing well. Helena was playing well. So those are difficult shifts. And even that affected Courtney at a couple of times in the game. I had to keep her out for long stretches because we were flowing a little bit. So it's just hard. But I mean, so we really played 7 people, and like we continue to play well with 7 people. But I do need to figure out a way to get her confidence back and insert her back. But right now, the 7 are playing, and so she's got to earn that back. And I think defensively, we all know she can score. I think, but you saw when she first came in the game, it was a 6-point swing right away. And like, you know, so those are hard swings in these like tight possession games. So we just got to teach her, and she'll be fine. She's a good player, and there's still a lot of season left, so we need her. We need all 8 for sure.